started.
I knew I brought you for a reason.
And the stream,
It should be.
hopefully.
Oh, it says setting up. Okay.
Okay.
You should be good now.
Okay. Hopefully. All right. Good evening, everybody. It is Michelle Poe here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and we are so excited to have you here tonight for activated athletes. What in the world does that mean? And why in the world is that so important? Let me just tell you, it is important. It is so important. And we have some of the greatest experts that I know, and I'm so grateful to have share here tonight. So we have Erica and Jesse that are here. Let's see, where are you guys at now? They kind of pop all over the place sometimes. So where are you guys at tonight?
We're in Indiana.
Okay, they're in Indiana tonight. And so we have known these guys for quite a while, and I can't even begin to tell you their background. First and foremost, I just want to say they're incredible humans. They are just, they love God, they love people, they love serving, they love giving. The first moment that I asked Jeff, who's going to be coming on with them and is in their organization and team, and Erica and Jesse, immediately it was yes. So we just thank you. And we know that your mission as well is to really make a difference in people's lives in any and every way that's there. So I just want to say thank you for just being such incredible servant leaders and friends and just having so much fun. And thank you for taking time out of your schedules tonight. We got to have dinner with one of their dear friends this past month. And she's a kinesiologist. She has an incredible background. And she said, I never believed in supplements in certain ways and whatnot. And she was very hardcore and she knows a lot about different scientific things. And she said, but when Erica and Jesse came to me, they are so respected in the health world. They are so respected in their community and everything around. She's like, I knew I had to look. And so I just want you to know they are so respected. And Jesse's bio is maybe 18 pages long because he has so much behind him. So Erica, maybe you can help me introduce your incredible husband as well, because I don't want to miss a thing because it's so powerful. So I will go on and do that. But I do just want to tell you that Erica is, well, they're all very humble, but Erica, she also has her PhD in holistic nutrition and is very into every aspect of health as well. And she, just this little side note in regards to LifeVantage, she started this with $226 in her bank account, you guys. So she saw something here, and not only has activating her body and helping so many people been a blessing, but this business has been incredibly a huge business blessing to her and her family and being able to make a difference. So Erica, if you can come on, and your incredible husband, and I'm going to pipe in about certain things, but can you edify him as well for me? Because you've got the extras. I'm like, this is the biggest, most impressive background I think I've ever seen.
It's pretty crazy, right?
Yes.
Well, and that'll kind of segue. I know that you were speaking on Amber White saying
Yes.
that. And honestly, when LifeVantage came to me, because I wasn't looking, I brought it to Jesse because I didn't get it. So if any of you, if you've watched the ABC video or you've seen something about the science and you're like, I just don't really get it, don't let that deter you, because I didn't either. And to be honest with you, I brought this to Jesse for him to tell me no. Because we didn't believe in supplements. I ran his gyms that he owned, and we didn't have supplements on the shelf because a lot of them are not necessary. And one of the things we used to say, it's just expensive urine. You don't need a lot of the supplementation that's out there. And so when I showed him that ABC video back in 2015, he actually said, I know all about free radicals. I know all about oxidative stress. And if this product does what it says it does, we should be taking it. And so that was my green light, because I did understand network marketing. He didn't. And so I just really needed that green light, but it's because of his, like Amber said, his presence in the fitness world, especially in our community, his own physique, the things that he's accomplished, but also the background that he has. You know, we joke, like, I have a PhD in nutrition. He knows more about nutrition than I'll ever know, because it's all he's ever really studied since, what, 12 years old. So I think we counted the other day, how many certifications do you have? Like 17 certs, you know, owned successful gyms, has been a bodybuilder since the age of 16, started lifting weights at the age of 12, and has won, gosh, we counted up his overall wins just recently. And Rachel Picard was actually using some of his background as a reference. And she's like, you know, I asked Erica to tell me how many shows Jesse's won. And I was just thinking, like, you know, it's just a couple, and it was in the teens. And she's like, wait, what? So it's definitely his expertise in the fitness space that really has us here, you know, that allowed us to say yes to Pro Tandem, to LifeVantage. So I'll give you just a little, go ahead, Michelle.
You're great. Go for it. Just love. Incredible.
Yeah, no, I think for me, you know, and Jesse has some info for you guys too. For me, what really attracted me was when I was looking at this, again, I didn't get it. And so I really just kind of had to be like, how am I going to promote this to my gym members? Because that was my immediate network. And if it didn't make sense to put it in our gyms, why would I be doing a business like this? And so when I understood the power of raising your glutathione, y'all, I couldn't even pronounce glutathione 7 years ago. The first call I ever did when I had to read that word, I Googled it and I was pressing play like 200 times before I got on that call because I was so nervous of saying glutathione. But when I understood what raising your glutathione did, increasing your energy, building a stronger immune system, mental focus, mental clarity, having, you know, less muscle, less joint pain issues, improved athletic performance. If you Google glutathione, that specific phrase is right there. And so when I understood that, I was like, this is a no-brainer. I have to tell my gym members about this. We have to tell our athletes about this. And at the time we were coaching nutrition. We were, you know, being hired to do people's nutrition programs. And when I knew that Jesse was fully committed after being on the product for probably 2 weeks, he had sent me a nutrition plan to send out to one of our brand new clients. And at the bottom, it said recommended supplements. And it said NRF2 and NRF1. And I was like, that's it. That's all I ever needed was for him to be on board with it. So, but yeah, Jesse, you know, he's been a bodybuilder. I've done some shows. I mean, yes, I guess I'm a bodybuilder, but not to the extent that he is. But I want him to share his story on just being an athlete and activation and what it's done for you.
Yeah, awesome. So team, as a gym owner, we also promote 2 bodybuilding shows here in the city, drug-free bodybuilding shows. So with those 2 elements, we were pitched constantly. People would send in like literally pallets of free supplements and, hey, try this, try that. I mean, you had a supplement rep in your gym every single day. And when they found out I also ran the shows, then they were hitting me on that angle. So we were kind of forced to really, really be research biased on the supplements because they all sound great. Do you know what I mean? And me, you know, as a bodybuilder at the time, you're on a little bit more of a budget. So you want to get the most bang for your buck. And what a lot of supplement companies will do to get around the research is they'll do what's called pixie dusting. They'll put a well-researched ingredient in tiny doses, just to say the product has it in there. So that was one of the things that when Erica came to me with Pro Tandem, I just went right to PubMed. And that was kind of my barometer. If you can give me your, you know, super shredded RX 200 and it's in PubMed, I'll take a look at it. If there's not doing studies on it, I just don't have time. And at the time, there was 26 peer-reviewed studies on Pro Tandem, not the company that makes, but, you know, actual Pro Tandem.
I remember I was doing, I think it was a Zoom, and I had said, you know, there's 26 period, and he interrupted my Zoom. I'm like, what do you mean on PubMed? You've never said PubMed a day in your life. And I said, yeah, this product is on PubMed. He's like, yeah, of course the ingredients. I mean, he was still very much a naysayer because he's got a history of research and understanding that most products out there are not what they say they are.
Yeah. So checked out the research. It was sound, and said, yeah, this stuff can, this is really why I started taking Protandim. Guys, I wanted to win shows. It's all about bikinis and Lamborghinis, you know, trophies. And I just did, I wanted to win shows, and I would do everything ethically and morally and legally that I could to win. Well, when you have that mentality, you tend, when you look at like building muscle or skeletal protein muscle synthesis or being an athlete, it's all about these four things. It's all about your hormones, the stimulus, overload, training. Okay, athletes tend to be really good at training. Okay, they work hard. All right. It's about amino acids or recovery with food. Okay, and then it's about recovery, period. All right, so body recovery. So as an athlete, I was really good about, you know, getting my protein, my macros and all that. I was really good at training hard, but what I wasn't doing the greatest at was recovery. You know, I had the whole, oh, you can sleep when you're, you know, when you're dead or whatever, you know, kind of bragging about, hey, I'm training twice a day. And all of those things were leaving me with just a flat, non-productive physique because the recovery was missing. And that's what Protandim started to fill in that gap, because one of the biggest effects that you get is better REM sleep with Protandim. And I'm taking this stuff and I'm starting to have these wild dreams. And I'm like, what is going on? And my dreams weren't any more wilder than they were before. I just wasn't getting into REM sleep. So I wasn't remembering my dreams. Mm-hmm. And that is probably the biggest. 2018 was, I started taking Protandim 2017. 2018, I got out of retirement, started doing shows again at the age of 40. And that was by far my best year ever, by far.
7 years of not competing, nothing else changed except for activating your body.
Yeah. And just to kind of dive into that recovery science is that REM sleep is everything. Sleep is your hormonal driver. Sleep is your recovery. You don't build muscle squatting, you know, deadlifting a Buick in the gym. You build muscle when you sleep, and it recovers and it restores and repairs itself. So the supplement's ability to give me that restoration type sleep, absolutely huge. Some things that people may not associate with sound good sleep: testosterone's higher. Okay, cortisol is lower, so your stress hormones tend to be normal or lower. And your hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin, okay? One of them tells you to stop eating, one of them tells you to start eating, okay? So if we're not getting enough recovery or we're not getting enough deep sleep, you're gonna be missing out on those things, and you're gonna be overeating. It's just not gonna end up very well. So yeah, it was just an amazing season that year. And it got to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I want to tell other athletes about this. It's like an unfair advantage, but no, we feel that, and guys, some of you on the screen might be like, Jesse, I'm not trying to, you know, build my biceps, or I'm not trying to bench press a Buick. Guess what? Neither am I. Those were fun days, but neither am I. But we got to look at the onslaught of things that we have thrown against us in this world from an oxidative stress standpoint. I want to have my shield as strong as I can have it when I'm 50, 60, 70. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, maybe I'll do shows again, maybe not. That's not the point. But this supplement is helping me just life better, kind of giving my energy back. So it's not just about like, hey, you know, how far can I go in a sport, or how fast can I throw a baseball or whatnot. Yes, you can use this to increase your recovery and take it to that level. But this is just real life issues here: better sleep, higher testosterone, lower cortisol, better hunger hormones or hormone regulation, less insulin resistance. I mean, those are all things that we got to deal with nowadays on a day-to-day basis, and why I believe everyone should do the research, look at the studies themselves, like I did. I think they're up to like 33 now, and get the supplement.
Hey, Jesse, real quick though, because I learned something about you today that I hadn't heard yet. And you said that you're not trying to pick up a Buick, but I want you to tell them the story of you hitting a personal record that you were going to ever hit. And you hit it at an age that most people are not hitting records like that.
So when you grow up in the gym industry or whatever, it's all about what you bench. So I was doing competitive powerlifting, actually kind of in and out when I was bodybuilding. I'd do some powerlifting meets because I was lighter. I was like 183, and I was able to put up some decent weight. Well, the big daddy thing for like a less than 200 pound, the big benchmark that everyone wants to hit is 4 plates. It's 405 pounds. It's 4 plates on each side. Okay. Not many people younger than 2 or less than 200 do that. I had never done it, and I had never done it training for it. In powerlifting competitions, you wear these crazy suits, you know what I mean? That they have you suited up. I wasn't able to do it there. And it was just a childhood dream. I got close. I really did get close. I got to 265 in a competition. I was just never able to hit that benchmark. And so I just quit training for it. And largely I didn't hit that benchmark was I quit training heavy for it because of joints. You start getting in your 40s, the joint pain is the real deal. You don't want to be getting surgeries. And Erica had a shoulder surgery that kind of freaked me out. So I just started training a little bit lighter and being more joint conscious because they were more achy. To be honest, they're just more achy. Well, I started taking the collagen, and I had always researched collagen for better hair, skin, nails, but there's always joints on top of that. I just never really dove into the joint science because I just never felt the need. But after a month of taking collagen, my buddies, they were just kind of playing with me, and they're in this phase where they're all trying to bench a ton and stuff. And they're like, Jesse, what do you do? And I'm like, I don't know, back in the day, 360. It's like, well, let's see what you can do now. So I'm like, all right, I'll see, because my joints felt great. It was nuts. So I did 315, and I was like, okay, cool, but I've done that before. Then I did 350. I'm like, wow. Again, it wasn't the muscle. I was like, my joints feel like $1 million. This is great. Finally, I got to 370, which is the most that I've ever lifted. And it went up like no problem. And they're like, dude, you got to put the 4 plates on. And I'm like, no, I'm scared. Literally. So I go, but what I'm going to give 2 more weeks on the collagen. I'm actually going to not train for the 405, but I'm going to actually start putting a little bit more heavier weight on the bar. And yeah, sure as can be, man. 2 weeks later, it was a Friday morning. They put the 405 in there. We got a video of it, and the bench press to the 405. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's just unbelievable because I trained for this in my 30s
And couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
And how old were you when you hit that?
44.
You guys, that's nuts. I
Oh, I have chills.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just kind of the awesomeness of these products is I never would have thought that goal was off the table. You know what I mean? That dream was a boyhood dream. Darn it, you win some, you lose some. I had lost that one, but it's just crazy. You just kind of feel young again,
And I love this so much because it's like you said, it's the power of these products. You guys, look up glutathione. What in the world does it do? It is huge, not only for detoxifying our body. It's a phase 2 detoxer. I didn't know what that was when we first came in. Trust me, it's a big, big deal for health in general, right? Whenever anybody has anything going on in their body, if you're sick, if you've got anything going on, your levels of glutathione are usually very low. You want to increase them so it gets up. So it's just not for, yoga or running or bodybuilding or basketball or volleyball or any of those things, you guys. This is health. And so tonight, as you're listening to this, I mean, like Jesse said, I want to continue to, turn 45, 46, 47, and continue to have a good time and quality of life. Like he said to Erica at the beginning, I know what free radicals are. I know what oxidative stress. This product lowers it by an average of 40% in 30 days, up to 70% after 3 months. What the heck? We're taking this for the rest of our lives. We're going to tell our gym members about it. Doing that lowering inflammation in our body because we have US and international patents. How big is that when you're an athlete, right? I mean, there's just so many things. And then when you couple NERF1 for the mitochondria, NAD, and all these others, and then in synergy, and then you just heard OMG goodness on the powerlifting. We could go on forever and ever, but we do want to keep respecting your time. So no matter if our children are, 15 and 18, they've been activated for many years and they're going to keep doing it, and they're athletes, and for their brain and for school, it's all a big deal, or up until your hundreds. This is for literally everybody there. But Jesse and Erica, Thank you. And I want, if you guys, I can introduce Mr. Jeff, but if you guys are super close to him, if you want to, he is a gym owner, and anyway, I'll let you guys maybe do that. We'll keep the stories going. We've got a few more stories for you guys.
I love it. I love it. So yeah, Jeff Bovard, he is also a gym owner. So Jesse and I used to own gyms. We cleared them off our plates in 2019. And Jeff has, which I actually didn't know this until today, but 2 gyms over in Cincinnati and also 2 yoga studios. And so he's all things fitness as well. It's just one of his passions, but not just for himself. I've watched him interact in his gym. I've watched him with his members, and he's passionate about them. He's passionate about their lives. And so he added Pro Tandem, he added the Tri-Synergizer, he added all these incredible products to his gym line because it just made sense. If he wants to help people, he's not just going to help them for the 45 minutes they spend in his gym. He wants to help them forever. So Jeff, over to you, my friend.
Oh, Jeff, thank you so much. We got to meet Jeff when we were actually in Croatia, and it was just full of incredible energy. And he is a spiritual and health and wellness coach as well, you guys. And maybe you want to share as well who you've all enrolled onto the products from Cincinnati as well, Jeff.
Yeah, boy, I don't even know to go where, because I could, so much good stuff. So thank you for having me on, Sean, Michelle, Eric and Jesse. Awesome stuff. I guess let's start when this was introduced to me, and it wasn't even 2 years ago. It was a year and a half ago. And to me, I'm a huge skeptic, maybe not as big as Jesse, but we are low hanging fruit when we have brick and mortar gyms. I'm not running competitions, but it was rare that a day would go by without somebody coming through. And a network marketing company, you got your Herbalife, your Juice Plus, your Advocares, they've got the next best thing. They have got it. And, it's a responsibility. All of us have a responsibility. Like we're sharing this. When we begin this thing, we're sharing it with others. And I'm not saying mine is more profound than anyone else's, but when you have a relationship with thousands of members that you've known for 6 or 7 years, you've watched their kids grow up in the gyms and stuff like that, you really don't want to just go out on Front Street and start saying, hey, I've got stuff that's going to, make their head spin, oxidative stress, and start talking about this. But it was about the science. It was about, when I was directed towards PubMed.gov, and I can hardly read those articles, but glutathione, you guys hit it. And when I looked into this, I thought, you know what, I've got to give this a try. And that was back in the spring of 22. And, I came on as a platinum, like, give it all to me. I want to try it all. Got the big boy pack, but I wanted to see what the Tri-Synergizer was going to do for me as far as joint pain, inflammation. I'm at this point, I'm 43 years old. I was 43 when I started taking it. And my passion was, ever since the age of 6, I've been hooping. And I always think that I'm 22. I try to go out there twice a week and run with these 22-year-olds and 23-year-olds. And that was cool. But at the age of 40, it just kind of stopped, and it stopped bad. I mean, these knees hurt. They'd seen 30 years of hardwood and they were done. To the point that in 2020, I'd seen 3 different knee doctors saying, and why 3? Because I thought they were kooks. They didn't like my insurance or what, that they didn't want, one guy said, you've got arthritis, you've got this. And so I just kind of chopped it up to, hey, I'm getting old. We're just going to do old guy things. Took my hoopers, gave them to the church, give these, all 4, 6 pairs or whatever, give those to the church. No more running. We'll do the step mill because I hate the elliptical. Okay. I'm not going to do that. But I'm just not. But I started taking the product, and the first thing I noticed was sleep. Jesse hit it on the head, wild dreams, but the REM sleep and what you're getting and what that means for an athlete. And we'll talk, I'm not going to get too much. I could go on for days. All right. But I'm not going to get too much into that. But, Jesse hit on it. The sleep is huge in the recovery and muscle building for athletic performance. But I noticed, that the sleep I noticed within 2 to 3 weeks, within 5 to 6 weeks, I noticed, I was hopping out of bed and I thought, I'll be darned, it doesn't take old knee over here to get going. And I'll tell you, Michelle, by week 8, I was at Dick's Sporting Goods buying those basketball shoes. I only bought 1 pair because I didn't know if I was going, but just to shorten that story, you add on liquid collagen and it feels like I've never had knee trouble before again. I mean, I will run with these 25-year-olds and the next day I will be, let's do leg day. So that's what it is to be able to turn over. You know, it used to be I'd play on Tuesday nights and it'd have to be some recovery. We'll go Tuesday night, we'll go Saturday, some silly ball over at LA or Esport or gym, but then competitive ball again on a Sunday night. So that's huge. But just from there, you know, I got to get some close people on Tri-Synergizer BC before collagen and get them out there, okay, and started seeing significant changes. I mean, they were like boom, and I was like, okay, I'm comfortable to share this within my gym. And you know, 10 years into the gym business, you know, this into my baby, my first gym, I'd never really shared a product. Yeah, I had the proteins and the BCAAs and scratch your face off with this pre-workout if you want. But I had those things, but I never said, yeah, this is going to change you. But now it's like this, you know, I just wanted to research it. I could never catch up to Jesse and his knowledge, but what I was learning with the NRF2, the NRF1, the NAD, what that does for your metabolism, for your pain, and it goes to joints. But when you're an athlete or a lifter, when you're putting 4 plates on, I don't know if I can squat 4 plates. I don't even want to try. But listen, but when you're putting 4 plates on and you have a different kind of oxidative stress, we talk about oxidative stress. It's called reactive oxidative stress. Basically, your body, it's a supply demand. And when your body is producing much more oxygen than your body can consume, then your cellular health is in trouble. Let's just say that's to simplify it. Obviously, we know here on this call, NRF2 is the only thing that combat that. We throw in, you know, your NRF1 for the mitochondria turnover, and just that's huge. But fast forward, I mean, that's, you know, every athlete has to be on that. And we started sharing that mostly through the yoga studio. And this is Nina's work downtown at the Nina's Yoga Studio, but with some of the Bengals, and they were loving it. That's why they made the Super Bowl last year. Okay. They were on Tri-Synergizer. That's why they did. That's why Eli Apple got that renewal of the contract. But they're just Tri-Synergizer. Now, I don't know what the offense is on this year or the play calling, but we'll skip past that. So, you know, fast forward June 22nd, when we get out this collagen, now this is different for athletes. All right. This is different for athletes because they're in the Bengals locker room or any of those locker rooms that you play on Sunday. I don't know about the college kids, but they're getting collagen shots. They're all on a collagen, you know, a very expensive collagen. And they may or may not still be getting that, but these guys are drinking. I think Eli Apple drinks 3 a day. All right. He drinks this stuff and they swear by it, but these are the building blocks. You know, your protein, when you got a lifter or an athlete, they are taught, you know, back in their days or whatever, you know, you got to recover. So they've got these branched chain amino acids, their glutamine, you know, their isoline, their valine, they're taking down these branched chain amino acids, right? But, you know, again, collagen from maybe a non-athlete or whatever, or somebody that just doesn't know. They're like skin, this, but it's joints. Jesse hit it. Your joints. Collagen is so huge just for your joints, but a lot of people don't know for your muscle mass. You know, people come in. I sell the crap out of creatine. All right, everyone's got to be on creatine. We got to make this muscle mass. Collagen has the same ingredients, some of the same ingredients that creatine has in it. The glycine, the arginine, you know, that our liquid collagen has those things. So I guess I just can't say enough that when somebody comes in and they are talking, I mean, I can speak from experience from myself. I mean, what it's done for my joints, for my knee. I mean, that's a miracle. That's the grace of God and just everything with it. You just don't stop taking that stuff. I don't care if it's $15 a day, you know, it does not matter when you're talking about something like that. But then when people come in, and whether you own a gym, you know, I've got the advantage of owning a gym, but you're having everyday conversations. Everybody has this pain. All right. Everybody has these pains, athlete or not, you know. Obviously everyone wants to look better. We live in a vain world, unfortunately, you know, but or fortunate for us, but they're just the pain that they're going through, in what it can do. It's just amazing. I mean, it's the building blocks. Collagen is the building blocks, and to be on collagen without the Tri-Synergizer, well, that's ridiculous. So
Amen.
Totally.
Sorry, Sean, are you gonna say something?
No,
I got
I totally agree with all of that. I love just your ability to speak to professional athletes, because again, these guys are not putting things into their body that aren't safe. It jeopardizes their career if they're putting things that aren't approved into their bodies. And I pulled up something that I've got to show you guys, because this just still blows my mind. I don't know how in the world you do this, Jesse, but I want you guys to see that 17 seconds.
Get it up there.
Watch this. And this goes up with ease. This isn't, he prepped for 2 weeks, you guys.
Let's go, dude. Personal best right here. All time. This is all you. Let's go. Come on, push, 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 push. Nice. Nice.
That is,
You made it look so easy.
Right?
No.
That's what I said.
we met Jesse for the first time. I think it was the Mediterranean cruise. They qualified for an incentive trip. And the introduction to Jesse was, he told me his name is Shark. And I will never, ever forget that, ever. I love it.
Oh my gosh, Jesse, that was like you were like picking up a broom. That was amazing. Wow, you guys. And with Jesse's permission, he's given that. Can I share that with these guys?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I guess I didn't ask for permission. My bad.
Oh, of course. Like I said, that was a boyhood dream that I just given up on, you know, and it's just nuts.
Well, we appreciate you guys so much. And Jeff, thank you for your knowledge or expertise owning 2 gyms, 2 yoga studios. I mean, you guys see people day in and day out that are trying to enhance and get that edge any way that they can. And I love the fact that we have a natural way that is super clean to do it.
Yes, and it's activating the body in every way. We're not just doing, supplement here. We are literally activating the body to do these things. And again, no matter what age you are, what you're doing, if you're going for walks and that's your thing, if you're going for runs, that's your thing, if you're whatever, it's the quality. If you heard Jesse, Erica, and Jeff just talk about, my gosh, the quality of my life has just been improved. What they're able to do and the joy factor of what they're able to do in life now because of what has happened. If that alone was there and they didn't do all the other things, that's huge. But then again, their name, you guys, is everything behind this. And we have 3 more quick testimonies. And Erica and Jesse and Jeff, if you guys have to hop on because we hop off because we honor your time, it's just 3 real quick testimonies. But we just want to thank you and give you a huge round of applause and so much gratitude and love and appreciation, and cannot wait to squeeze you and hug you in just a few days. But wow. I know we could talk all night about the power of activation in the body with this. And more than anything, you guys, again and again and again, we need to get this information out to people. We've got to get it out there faster. People deserve it. The world deserves it. Can you imagine the gratitude that Jeff has now to the people that enrolled him, and he can go out and play some basketball, some hoops now, right? And do all those things. So thank you so much. And I'm just going to pop up to Miss Tara real quick, because she, I think, was relating to a few things maybe that Jesse was saying, and Jeff and Erica tonight. Real quick, Tara, can you share your testimony, please, being an athlete?
Yeah, so I actually kind of fell into powerlifting by accident because I'm actually a mental health counselor. I work with teenagers, and some of them can get pretty violent if they are dealing with a mental health crisis. I was working back in 2005 or so. And this girl just kept attacking me. She just had a kind of codependent relationship with me, was struggling with boundaries, and I was getting attacked. I have scars today. And I said, you know what? I am done with this. I don't want to get beat up anymore. I am done. And so I started lifting, and that's when my journey started, is in 2005. And I started competing. I did really well. I was actually introduced to LifeVantage in 2016. I was like, I don't think so. So I'm really stubborn. Fast forward to 2021. And I was prepping for the Iowa State Fair bench and deadlift competition. And there's what's really cool about that is that there's so many more females that are starting to lift. And I'm like, yes, I get really jazzed about that stuff now, because there's just something to be said about uplifting yourself by becoming the best version of you and being able to not only work on your mental health, but your physical health too. But Amy reached out to me and she's like, hey, maybe you should try this. I said, yes, please, because I have been stuck at a 290 deadlift for months. I could not get anything fat past that. And I really wanted to put up 3 plates, but that was my goal. So I was training, I was eating right, getting enough sleep, and I just wasn't going anywhere. So I added Nerf 2 and Nerf 1, and within 2 months, I put 10 pounds on my deadlift. Like, that's unheard of. I did nothing different, nothing. So I was really excited about that, really jazzed. And then 2 months later, I had the Women's Barbell Classic, which I'm repping right here. It's a bunch of women that have come together and are lifting and cheering each other on. So I started the products, continued doing those. And the day before the meet, they could have you stand on this machine that measures your body fat. I was like, I don't want to know that, but it measures your skeletal mass and and inflammation in the body. And so I got my printout and they were like, whoa, like this is not registering hardly any inflammation. And I was like, yeah, I'm just fluffy. It's not inflammation. Sorry. So a little bit backtracking, at the Iowa State Fair, my opener for bench was 165, flew up, got a little greedy. I was like, okay, we're going to back down. But at the Iowa State Fair, I was able to pull 300 pounds and I was over the moon. I didn't count with the technicality of a hitch, but whatever, I got it up and I locked it out, I call it. But like I said, back to the Women's Barbell Classic, my starting with bench was, I put up 165 for my opener, flew. I put up 170, flew. And I have only been able to put that up maybe a handful of times. My 1 rep max was 180, but I never on the platform. So I just was blown away at how much better I could lift, how much better I was sleeping. And that was the only thing I did different. The only thing. So
you are a warrior, sister. You should see, like, I'm watching Jesse, Jeff, and Erica. They're like, yeah. They're like, way to go. That's what's up. Like, so proud of you. And I know you've had so many other outside of all of this. She's also had so many incredible results, you guys, health-wise, with her hair. She's got so many beautiful results outside of the athletic world too.
Yeah, and that collagen, I'm telling you, I've been on and off with the powerlifting because, life happens and work is stressful. And then I'm like, okay, I want to sleep, but I'm prepping for the April 2023 Women's Barbell Classic. So I'm like, okay, I got to get my poop in a group and go and train consistently again. So I took, a year off of consistent lifting. And so I'm just back into it again. And I was able to deadlift 210, 3x6s, no problem. I was like, oh, okay, this is nice. And I attribute that definitely to the collagen because I'm able to recover faster. My joints didn't hurt. It's my hands. They just don't have the calluses like they did before. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Everybody's saying you've got such incredible light and energy. You are just what a celebration. We are cheering you on and we expect updates, my girl.
Oh,
updates,
for sure.
Updates. So
thanks for letting me share. That was fun. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. And Miss Brandy from Wisconsin, she used to be here from Sioux Falls. She has a beautiful story and I'm just going to turn it over to you because I don't want to share it. It's just so great.
Hello. Gosh, so much great information from all you guys. So thanks for sharing your stories too. But I first saw the ABC video back in July of 2011. And I just caught it on, somebody had posted on Facebook. And at the time, I was having a major sleeping problem. And at the end of the version I saw, John Quinones said, and I am sleeping better. And that got me. So I Googled it, found all these positive things. So I'm not really sure how I ordered it, but I did. And I only would commit to one bottle. I didn't want to commit to anything more. Got it, took it, and I didn't feel anything. Mostly I wasn't sleeping better yet. But when I was done with that bottle, I kept thinking about it. I would think about it like at least 2 or 3 times a week for the next several weeks. And at the time, I had just started training for my 8th marathon. And my friend Mary Beth and I were CrossFitting together. And she was helping me, she was going to train me, write my training program for my marathon. And I was trying a whole new training program. About 3 weeks later, after I finished my first bottle, she texted me and said, "Hey, I need you to come into my office." She's a physical therapist, because I want to talk to you about your training. And I'm like, okay. So I went in there. I saw Pretandem on her, sitting on her shelf. And I'm like, is that what you're going to talk to me about? And it was. And so I told her my story I just told you. She walked me through the science and told me how it would help me with my recovery. And, so I believed her because she's a physical therapist, right? So got on it. And within 3 weeks, I was like, my training times were like amazing. I was working out at least 3 to 4 days a week. I was working out twice a day. And on the other days I wasn't, I was asking her for more workouts. And I wasn't sleeping better yet, but I didn't want to crawl under my desk at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and take a nap every day. And so my marathon was in October, and I shaved 30 minutes off of my time. And if you know anything about running, shaving 3 minutes off of a marathon time is incredible. So yeah, that's my story.
Huge. And Brandy, can you also share what happened with your lungs?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So at the time I started taking it, I was on Singulair, Flonase, and I can't even think of the name of it anymore because I don't take it.
It's been so long right now.
And I was diagnosed with asthma when I was like, I think I was a 1st or 2nd grader. So had it for a long time. And my doctor always wanted me to get off Singulair, but I would go off it for a week and I'd be right back on it. And so the day I started taking Protandim for the 2nd time, I stopped Singulair, haven't been back on it. And then I would do Flonase in the spring and in the fall for my seasonal allergies. And that fall, I did not start taking Flonase and have not been back on it since. And then my Advair I was taking twice a day, and he always wanted me to reduce that as well, but never could. And so then when I was done with my marathon, I reduced that from twice a day to once a day. And then I started taking it like 3 times a week, and then eventually didn't take it at all. So yeah, I take no more asthma medications to this day.
You guys, she's a marathon runner, diagnosed 1st grade, all those things, gets activated, cuts 30 minutes off, not 3 minutes, 30, and is off all of that for her precious, beautiful lungs. And I just saw Tara's comment saying, yes, no more for her either. Hallelujah. Oh my gosh, Brandy, thank you. Brandy is such a dear friend and sister of mine for so many years. So thank you, Brandy, for sharing all that. I love you. I love you. I love you. All right, we're going to close it out with the Boom family. Jeff, boom, he is here from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Dear friends with those loggies over there. And I can tell you that this family, I just love them. And the more that I get to know them, I'm just so obsessed. They're just so fun. And they are as well the ultimate biohackers. They really pay attention to everything. I'm looking at Carrie. I just am like, she's so smart with all these things. Jeff, I know you are too, but I just know she extra goes into all those details. I'm like, she's blowing my mind again. Yeah, she is amazing. But Jeff has a beautiful story. So Jeff, if you can share, and then we'll close it off. I know we went a little longer tonight, but would you all agree this was such incredible value tonight that can definitely be shared again with others? So Jeff, please share your activation story, please.
First of all, if Tanya Sheldon's still on there, go Wolves! We are former college classmates and former athletes in college. So start out, I am not built like a runner, just to kind of put the preface here, but it's 6'4", normally natural weight, somewhere around 235, 240. It is not normally the thing that I would do, but some years ago, Troy Loggy, who's also on the call, kind of threw out something out there about trying a mini marathon or a mini triathlon. So I decided, you know what, I'm 270 pounds. I'm an old college lineman. I gained a lot of weight, decided to do it. And it kind of started me on a path of endurance sports. And I graduated in from triathlons into half marathons just because of we do live in South Dakota, hard to get into pool time and bike riding and those types of things. So running just became something that became a little bit more easier. And I'd gone through quite a stretch in my 40s of staying pretty consistent with it. And then as we got into my later 40s, I kind of slowed down a little bit. And last year, basically was running just a little bit on and off and not really doing much. And then in August of 2021, Troy and I made a trip up to Minneapolis via car. Something didn't feel right that day. Didn't know what it was. By the time we got back, I drove home. Fever was off of the charts. And the next day, Carrie and I both realized we had COVID. And the whole family got it. And so you go through this whole COVID deal. Was really, really sick. And then 10 days later, I can't breathe. I'm out of breath. I'm up. Air isn't coming in. Air isn't really going out. It's just enough for me basically to keep some sort of form of my lights on. And at that, there became a moment that I was pretty sure this is it. So I basically went from the bathroom, tried to get to a couch as fast as possible. I didn't want my kids to see a lasting memory of my face, doing a face plant on a hard floor. I was pretty sure it was over. Carrie called 911. Ambulance came, picked me up. By that time, I'd started to get some air and I only registered a 77 on the oxygen meter. And so needless to say, I got taken to Sioux Falls via ambulance, 3-day stint in the hospital on oxygen. If I was on my feet for more than 2 minutes, I was cashing out. They just didn't have any oxygen. So through whatever they gave me and did the things that they gave, and obviously Carrie and I are into the holistic stuff, but I'm in the hospital. I'm kind of numb to everything at that point and just really looking forward to getting out of there. And they told me that I was going to have quite a stint. I had some serious pneumonia in my lungs, went home with oxygen. They kind of encouraged me to do a little bit of exercise with oxygen, sleep with oxygen, just to make sure that I didn't to run out. And I really made it a point at that time to really make a comeback. Carrie, during this whole stint of having COVID, said, you know what, we're going to get on Pro Tandem. We're going to get on these products. This is what's going to help you recover. And so I started to take it and I thought, you know what, I'm coming back a little faster than they said. They said it would probably be 6 to 8 weeks before I'd run. I think, 2 weeks later, I ran my first mile. Had not been training, then I ran 2, then I went to 3, then I went to 4. Kind of started the journey over the winter time and never was able, because of my size, and as I got older, it was really difficult to kind of stay healthy. And then between resistance training from weights, bands, and those types of things, just kind of always keeping the energy levels up, but never could stay healthy. And this year, I put my mark on a half marathon in Colorado. Wasn't going to be wildly hilly, which I've done in the past, but it was in Castle Rock, which is at an elevation of 6,200 feet. So it was a different type of challenge, and went out there in June after 450 miles of injury-free running for the first 6 months of 2022 at 51 years old. I went out and made the goal of under 2 hours in warmer temperatures and high elevation. And, once again, just like what Jesse, Jeff, and all that was said, I didn't do anything different. This is it. I mean, I trained, but I could never run those types of miles and stay healthy. And this year I could. I mean, to go out and run 30 miles in a week was kind of unheard of. So here I am today, just turned 52 on Friday. And this is just one of those things that's allowed me to kind of keep the passion of it. I'm a sportsman. I want to be able to go out. If I tag out on a white-tailed deer by myself, I want to be able to pick up a $200 or 200-pound deer and get it in the back of my truck. So it really fits my lifestyle. We've got a 16-year-old that's leaving cross country to go play football next year. We just had our first training day together this afternoon. And so it's a life changer. Whether consider yourself an athlete or you just want to have a healthy lifestyle, whether it's walking or whatever, I swear this will be the product that will protect you and give you that long-term physicality and the types of things that you want to do for long-term. So awesome. And the collagens just made it better.
Oh, Carrie, is there anything that you want to share through any of that? Jeff, tears, first of all, I know everybody here has chills, tears, and you celebrating 52 years and your story with your kids and having COVID and all of that. I can't imagine the fears for you and your wife and the family and all of that. So I'm just sending you a big hug, and there's a purpose and a reason, obviously, why you are here, and celebrating your life in just the biggest ways, and thanking God for you and this story. And again, you guys, this needs to go out to the world. You don't just come back from the hospital and have the things that he had going on, and literally doing what he's doing right now is just a gift. So sorry, Carrie, is there anything that you want? Yes, go ahead, Jeff.
2 people I have to thank. One is right here next to me because she's the one that really got me started on it. She's the brains of this operation for sure. And then the other one, I just want to give praise to my Lord Jesus Christ and Savior. He also kept me, didn't take me. It wasn't my time yet. So I keep the faith every day and realize that it's in his hands.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Miss Carrie, anything you want to share on any of that?
No, I'm just I'm shaking just talking about it and reliving the night. So I'm good.
Yes. She's a beautiful wife, you guys. And I keep saying this. If we are worried about sharing it with people, we are thinking about ourselves. It's not about us. We have to share this gift with people in every way. Listen to them, love them, be present with them. We have the science. Can we get any more bulletproof with this science, you guys? The science is there. We have to get out of our own ways. It's a gift to share, and people may say yes, people may say no, and that's okay, but we have to share and just keep guiding and loving and just being, just be a friend, right? Just be a convicted friend. We just love you guys all so much. Share your hearts, tag people. We'll have this recording. Jeff, I think he may have just hopped off. I know he was holding on to the last second. We'll make sure to get all that out. I'll send the recording of Jesse lifting tonight, but we just thank you. We honor you all. Each of you have a story, right? Yes or yes? Each of you have a power. Oh, there's Jeff. Each of you have a powerful story, and the world needs to hear your story. And I want to hear more of it. And we want more of you on here sharing that story. And we're just going to close it on out. Jeff, you were the star of the show. I know Erica and Jesse had to leave, but is there one last word from an incredible athlete, gym owner, Cincinnati Bengals superstar, belief builder, rock star, all of it? Any last words from you?
That's a lot. I don't know if I'm all that, but be bold. Yeah. Don't do people a disservice by being quiet. Just step outside your comfort zone and share. They will open up the conversations. That's it, man. The simple fact is we've got the best collagen on the market. We can feel comfortable saying that, and the best products on the market with the best company and the best teams. You guys are your team, our whole team, man. Team LifeVantage. So
amen. All right. Love you all. Good evening. We'll see you all soon. If for those of you that are going to be virtual, we'll see you virtual, in person. We'll see many of you. And this will be out there forever. So thank you. Tag your people, share the gift, and good night. Love you all so much. Good night.